Hey, good morning, guys. Been back here at there's a creek right back here. It's dry creek bed. I'm looking at rocks, and man, there's some neat things back in there. I really enjoy that. To see all that stuff is pretty cool. I hope you all had a good day yesterday. We did. We had a good time. It was a good day. Sitting out there with it was Marcia's family we was with. You sit there and you realize, look around it, you know something that they don't know. You have been given the realization that all mankind will come to the realization of the truth, and God will be all in all. And they can't see that, and in fact, they don't even want to talk about it. They don't even want to talk about it. It makes them mad. Why do people get mad? Why do people get mad when you let them know that God's going to save everyone? Everyone will be saved. Will have salvation in their own time. Will have the vivification of life. Life beyond the reach of death to be vivified. What makes them so mad? I think it's because they don't understand the love of God. They don't understand that the work that Christ done on the cross. They don't understand that. God will give them, eventually they'll all get that, because God gives understanding to us in His own time. In His time, He gives that understanding. So, we sit there and we know so much. We have so much knowledge of God in us. And we can't talk about it because what's the use of arguing? It doesn't, if you do something to argue this, it loses the goodness out of it when you argue about it. So we don't argue about it. They know my beliefs. They all know I've got a YouTube, and none of them watch it. They don't even bring it up. They don't even bring up anything around me about God. They kind of keep that quiet. Yeah, that's okay. In their own time, right? In their own time. I was back there a while ago and I heard a donkey. One of the neighbors has donkeys on his property. You put them in with your cattle, your calves and stuff, and the donkeys will keep the coyotes out. Coyotes won't get around them. They're pretty vicious, and they do. Yeah, it's been a good walk. I'm headed back towards the house. It was warmer today. I got home yesterday after doing the video and looking at the temperature, and it was actually, the wind chill was 2 below zero. For those of you over in the Netherlands, 32 degrees is where the water turns to ice. So this was, it was cold. I don't know I think it was like 6 degrees outside, Fahrenheit. It was definitely cold. The water's running here in the creek. It's not froze over. Back there where I was at, the water runs underground, and you can't see it. But you wouldn't take much to dig it out. Move some rocks out and dig down through there. You could get that pretty easy. Hit water. So today's reading is in Ephesians 5 is verse 5. There's not very many references to that, but some days there's a lot. Yesterday, I think yesterday or the day before was like almost 30 references to it. It was a long one. But today's not that much. We'll get over here and I'll read them to you. Back here out of the way. Oh, I hear that water running here. That sounds pretty nice. We've not been back here together in a while, have we? Yeah, it's still running. Yeah, it's still going. Ah, it's nice back here. I walked back past it a while ago, went on back there to the on back, and this pond froze over. It's not very thick. It wouldn't hold you up, or not me anyway. Remember as a kid skating across ponds. It was colder back then. They're getting noisy. They seen me. Yeah, they get anxious. And blue jays. All right, let's see what we got here. Ephesians 5. We're 6 minutes into this thing. I get to jabbering and I'll get sidetracked. Let's see. Ephesians 5:5. And these references, there's only 1, 2, 3, 4 verses tied to it. So we'll get those out and see how this comes out. For this you perceive, knowing that no paramour at all, or unclean or greedy person who is an idolater, has any enjoyment of the allotment in the kingdom of Christ and of God, being subject to one another in the fear of Christ. That's the reverence of Christ, the reverence. Deaden then your members that are on the earth, prostitution, uncleanness, passion, evil desires, and greed, which is idolatry. For a root of all of the evils is the fondness for money, which some, craving, were led astray from the faith, and try themselves on all sides with much pain. Those who are rich in the current eon be charging not to be haughty, nor yet to rely on the dubiousness of riches, but on God, who is tendering us all things, richly for our enjoyment, to be doing good acts, to be rich in the ideal acts, to be liberal contributors, treasuring up for themselves an ideal foundation for that which is impending, that they may get hold of life, really. And that's the references to Ephesians 5:5. Back here. So we'll leave that one as it is. We won't add to that. I'll fold that rascal up and put that in my pocket. I'll go back and I'll do some. When all these videos are loading up, I'll start on the next verse. But I've got ahead of it a little bit finally. So while it's loading, it takes it. Some days it'll load up in a half hour, and some days it'll be an hour and a half. But it's not like it used to be, climbing up that hill and putting this thing up on a post up there on top of that hill. Yeah. I was always worried that a crow would come by and see my phone laying there and been shiny, pack it off. They never did. I'd drive my truck up there and sit with it, and if I had the energy, I'd walk up it. But I'd set it there, and I'd leave it there for 3, 4 hours, and sometimes I could get it and drive down the highway, and it'd load up between Mountain Grove and Macomb. By the time I drive down the highway, there's those towers all through that, and I'd have to get the signal in there. But well, it's working. Sometimes it works better than others. But yeah, I'm going this way. See, I'm head back up through there. Get home. We got to go up and get some. We get our milk from a dairy farmer. Well, it's not really a dairy. They don't. They've got 4 or 5 cows that they milk and sell the milk, whole milk. We'll churn our butter. Y'all ever sit around and skim the milk off, the cream off your milk, and put them in jars and shake them and make butter out of that? It's pretty good. We had that last night. Elizabeth baked up a loaf of bread, sliced it up and toasted it, put that home churned butter on it, a little honey. That's like dessert. Man, that's good stuff. So anyway, I'll just hear rattling. Let's go see what God's got, shall we? It's going to be a beautiful day. I'll talk to y'all tomorrow. See you then.